look at the incredible beauty of Three Sisters. I want to pan around and show off the views from the Broken Hand Zone. This is our trail we've been hiking on down at the mighty epic basin, Alpine basin below. Continue to hike along. So we started at Tam McArthur Rim Trailhead, parked at 3 Creek Lake, Driftwood parking lot across the street. Get on the trail. It starts at 6,500 feet, which is actually one of the 2 highest developed campgrounds in Oregon. Well graded, well designed, epic views. Three Sisters Wilderness that we're in right now is my favorite wilderness area in the state of Oregon. And I view this as one of the, I call them the 7 wonders of Three Sisters Wilderness, because I am pretty dorky. This is one of the most premium of premiest trails in Oregon. So if you are coming through Oregon, Central Oregon, I would highly recommend. If you got a backpacking trip, I would do Broken Top Loop, which captures this as part of it. But if you're doing a day hike, I would view Tam McArthur Rim to Broken Hand, 9.2 miles, as like one of your top 5 choices. I would highly recommend it. Kind of a bucket list type hike that you should do once. And let me stop and take a look again at our mountain friends as we're descending. This is the ridge we're descending as I am rambling. The elevation here is a little sneaky in a good way. Well graded enough that you don't actually realize how much you climb. As I said, this is one of those where the entire out is like all uphill. There's very little downhill, probably not more than 100 feet. So the good news then is that once you turn around, which I have done, it's like all downhill. So I'm now descending from whence I came, the Alpine zone, this mountain region. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022. Started at 6 a.m. I like to get an early start so that I can do the hike in the cool weather. Started in the 40s. It was actually downright a little cold, which is what I like. If you're doing a lot of elevation gain, you want to be cold. So much easier to do elevation gain in the cold than it is in the blazing hot. So my goal was to do this hike in the 40s, 50s, 60s rather than the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe 90s. So this entire hike is exposed. There's no canopy. Oh no, there's 10 mountains you're enjoying on this hike. Some of the other direction to the right of me. If you look at all trails, it tries to tell you that you can stop at the overlook at 5.2 miles and call it a day. That is hogwash. That is Alpine blasphemy. I would say if you are going to bother coming to Tam McArthur Rim Trail and getting the permit from Recreation.gov for $1, do not stop at the overlook at the 5.2, 5.3. That is foolhardy. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty overlook and all that. I stopped at the overlook. I enjoyed the overlook, but my favorite section of this whole trail are past that. That 2 mile out, 4 mile range from there to Broken Hand. This Alpine zone I'm in right now, I think this is the best part of the whole hike. And if you just listen to all trails and stop at 5.2, 5.3 at the first overlook, which I consider just to be a waypoint 1, you stop there and turn around, my friend, you have short-sheeted yourself. You have robbed yourself of a wondrous Alpine opportunity. I think it would be pretty crazy to stop there. I mean, I understand if you're older or you know, you're just getting into it and you have a limited mileage capability, like by all means do your thing. I'm not trying to shame you if you can't do it, but if you can do it, by all means, push on, my friend. Go to Broken Hand. I think honestly, an able-bodied wilderness adventurer stops at the overlook and doesn't go all the way to Broken Hand is insane, in my humble opinion, because they left the prettiest part of the whole hike on the table, and it's not even that hard. It's only 400-foot elevation for 2 miles. It's nothing. So I'll get off my soapbox. I don't know if you can tell if you ever watch my videos, but I have a tendency to be an opinionated fellow. So that's my 2 cents on this hike. This is a legendary hike. As I mentioned, one of the 7 wonders of Three Sisters Wilderness. My dorky name for my 7 favorite hikes in Three Sisters Wilderness. And this is one of the better ones of those 7. So you're crazy if you don't come enjoy Tam McArthur Rim Trail. My favorite section I call the red clay Ridgeline Alpine zone. It's like a mile zone where you're on this red clay and it's beautiful. It's wide and it's well gently sloped, so it doesn't have the sketchy, sheer drop feel. It feels very safe, and you got just money shots of the mountains, and you just go for a long period of time. It's like a good chunk of the 2 miles is that, like a mile of just red clay hiking. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that, my friend? I'm descending from whence I came. It's wind. It's very windy right now, and wind is your best friend when you're up here in the mountains. As I said, it's August 15th, heart of summer. I mean, like this, I live in Madras. This week it's supposed to be like 106, 107 all week. So it is hot. And the mountains are a little cooler than that. But it can get in the high 80s, it can get low 90s, high 80s, low 80s, whatever. Hot. And when you're on an exposed trail, there's no canopy, there's no shade, there's no respite, then that could be an energy drain. So to counteract that, I like to be what I think is fastidious and come early. I woke up at 4, got here at 6, left my house like 4:30, 4:40, got here at 6, like an hour 20 drive, and got here right at sunrise. And my yield was 2 things. One, only one on the trail. I literally hiked all the way from Tam McArthur Rim Trailhead to Broken Hand without seeing a single soul on August 15th in the heart of the hiking season. And so that's a win. And I'm sure I'll see some parties on the way back. That's always how it plays out because they start later than I do. But 2, I started in the 40s temperature-wise. And, it'll be 40s, 50s, 60s as the Fahrenheit ekes up. Don't be 70s, 80s, 90s, which is downright oppressive. So that's my best advice I can give. Did pretty much all the elevation gain. Now I am returning. I will warn you, this section, a little before Broken Hand, is probably a scramble section. A couple sections where you kind of gotta use your hands and your legs and climb a few rocks, and also scoot down a little bit, like sit on a rock and then lower yourself down type deal. So it's nothing too crazy. I found it very comfortable. It's not like it's got steep cliffs on either side or anything like that. So it's not hyper dangerous. Of course, you're always in danger of giving yourself a minor injury, but it's not nothing I would say that's highly dangerous. More like a minor injury or nothing. So we're just looking through final rock section. Kind of a weird trail. You kind of have to, it's a little bit of a choose your own adventure. There's multiple paths, but the exact trail is ill-defined in this section. Just kind of figure out where you want to go and go from there. Down there is the trail. If I could make it down there, that would be ideal. A little bit of a glacier right here. As you can see, there's several glaciers along this trail. We were just at about 8,300 feet. This whole area is a genuine alpine wonderland. We're still well above 8,000. We're like 81, 8,200 right now. And going through like alpine tundra, alpine meadows. I love how kind of weird the trees in this area look. It's partially the wind and the storms, but if you think about it, this area is covered by snow by about 10 months of the year. So imagine this area being covered in snow. The weight of the snow warps all of the trees. And then you come up here and they all kind of look funny in the summer. They're in their 2-month respite of the year, where a lot of the best hikes here in the Three Sisters Wilderness we're in are only accessible from about August 1st to maybe October 15th. About a 10-week window to kind of explore the magic that is the Alpine Zone of Central Oregon. The rest of the year, you just can't even get to it. So I'll show you the beauty of Three Sisters to our left. That's the direction we're hiking back from. So yeah, there's about 10 weeks of the year you can come up here and enjoy all these premium hikes. I have 7 hikes I call the 7 wonders of Three Sisters Wilderness. Pretty epic area. In fact, at one point they wanted to make Three Sisters Wilderness a national park. I'm very glad they did not. That does not improve the quality of the hiking if you do that. It's kind of like the Walmart parkingification. Nothing against Walmart. I like Walmart. I shop at Walmart, but It's the Walmart parkingification of a beautiful wilderness area. You don't want them to come here and pave the whole area and basically destroy half the area so that people who only want to hike a half mile to a viewpoint can park the RV and hike a half mile. Again, nothing against RVs. I want to buy an RV, but the point is, that's not what you want if you want to preserve the beauty of the wilderness area. So my favorite places in America are all designated wilderness areas because they're truly beautiful. And our wilderness areas are our national treasures as far as I'm concerned. We gotta preserve them. So I am a Three Sisters Wilderness aficionado. My favorite wilderness area in the state of Oregon. I'd also say Eagle Cap over in Eastern Oregon's up there. Of course, you gotta throw Mount Hood Wilderness in there just because of the Timberline Loop. If it wasn't for the Timberline Loop, Mount Hood Wilderness would not be in my top tier. But Mount Jefferson Wilderness is also gorgeous. Mount Washington Wilderness. You go south and you got Diamond Peak Wilderness, and you go down to farther south and you got like the Sky Lakes area. We got a lot of beauty in Oregon. A lot of the sections we have in Oregon would be the most beautiful area of a state in a lot of the other states, and we have an embarrassment of riches of them. So we are to our back. I think this area is beautiful in its own right, kind of re-entering the what I call red clay ridgeline Alpine zone. Views of 10 mountains from this ridgeline I'm on right now in every direction. The 8,000 plus foot range. Sisters are 10,300, 10,100. Broken Top's about 9,100. Hood's like 11,200. Kind of one of the highest parts of the state of Oregon we're in right now. One of these ranges. So this zone, not this ridge per se, but this zone. So pretty epic area. I'm a Central Oregon resident and a aficionado. I think Central Oregon is by far the most beautiful part of the state of Oregon. It's really spectacular. I'm also a huge Three Sisters Wilderness fan. It's my favorite wilderness area in Oregon. And I've pretty much been to them all. We've got a lot of wilderness zones in Oregon. So, and this Tam McArthur Rim Trail is what I'm a dork, so I like to call them the 7 wonders of Three Sisters Wilderness. Tam McArthur Rim is one of them. So that's me. I gotta say, I'm actually really surprised I haven't seen anybody else. Very surprised. So this is a permit trail, and I got very lucky because today is Monday, August 15th, 2022. I actually got my permit last night, and that is not how I normally do it. Kind of a spontaneous deal. They release some of the permits a week at a time, and then the rest 2 days, 40 hours at a time. Normally I'm on the week length time, and they open at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Normally I snag one right away if I'm planning to do it the next week. Actually, that way I can make sure I snag one. But last night I just kind of had a hankering to come up here today, so I hopped on and I got lucky because this is a Recreation.gov permit hike. Every day of the week was booked except for this morning, and there was 4 left. So I was like, ooh, I grabbed one. So I printed it out, got it in my pocket. So that was pretty lucky. To be able to book a premium world first class hike the night before is kind of unheard of, but part of it is because it was Monday and that's the least popular day. So I got kind of a lucky alignment, but I would not count on that myself, nor would I recommend somebody else counting on that. Sometimes things just roll your way. So, but I'm a little surprised because I got here at 6 and I did that on purpose. I live in Madras. Woke up at 4, left my house like 4:30, got here at 6, just around sunrise. Pretty much the only car in the parking lot. I was the only one. Haven't seen a single soul yet today. So that's actually pretty cool just in itself to have that level of privacy. Stop and get some Alpine eye candy. There's Broken Top. Absolutely love it. It's a trail we're hiking back on. So yeah, pretty surprised to come hike all the way up here by myself. And I haven't seen a single soul yet today. If the normal pattern holds, because I like to do things, crack it on at sunrise, I'm normally like one of the first 3 cars in the parking lot. Normally I see nobody, 1 or 2 people on the hike up, whatever mountain it is I happen to be hiking that day. And then typically the pattern holds that about halfway back on my way down, all of a sudden I start seeing waves of parties. And basically everybody else decided to start at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, whatever, like later in the day. Each his own. Everybody should do what makes them happy. I personally would not do that for temperature management, safety concerns, but that is me. That's one of the reasons why I come so early. It's August 15th, so it is hot. I can tell you in my home city, Madras, it's going to be 106 all week, so it is blazing. Granted, up in the mountains, it's not quite that hot, but we're talking like high 80s with direct sun at 8,300 feet. So you're talking about 4 or 5 hours of direct sun. That is going to exhaust anybody. So I try to avoid as much sun as I can in the hotter part of the day. So I come at 6. It was in the 40s when I started, which was downright pleasant. You start this hike going up a pretty steep ascent and on a ridgeline you're overlooking Three Creek Lake. It's quite beautiful, but it's pretty steep for the first section, and I'd much rather do that in the 40s, you know, than later in the day. Nice and windy up here on the ridgeline, and while I can feel the direct sun and the Fahrenheit ticking up, I'm not worried about it. The wind is cutting in, trying to make it downright pleasant. I brought 2 sugar-free Powerades with me. I got 56 ounces of backup fluid. It is my intention to drink those. I also brought some pepperoni sticks, so I intend to eat those as well. Keep my energy levels up. I'm always, as a seasoned wilderness adventurer, I'm still always learning stuff every time I hike. I think that's part of the process. You're always getting better every hike. But as a person who's done hundreds and hundreds of high-end wilderness hikes, I'm always trying to improve what I do, and I think I do a good job with my temperature management and my hydration management, but I've decided I haven't done a good enough job with my energy management. A lot of times I bring food up, but I don't eat it. I kind of view it as emergency backup if I like twist an ankle and I need to snack, you know. So I'll carry food up with me, and then I'll get home and put it back in the pantry or the refrigerator or whatever, and I very rarely actually eat it on the trail. And I've decided that that's a mistake, that I'm letting my energy level get too low. By the time I get back, I drive home, I'm a little depleted. A lot of times I get home, I have a big meal, but I've decided that's poor energy management. So I'm gonna eat my pepperoni sticks I brought. And this, my friends, is the Red Clay Ridgeline, Alpine Zone. One of my favorite areas in all of Central Oregon, one of my favorite areas in all of Oregon. This is magic. Look at this. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's panoramic rolling mountain views in every direction. This is one of the best areas of the whole state of Oregon. I stop and turn around and say hello one more time to my friends.